Guys lost to SC 3 times last year. I know you're not from LA, but did that maybe sting a little bit more than if you had lost, say, 3 games to Oregon State?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to lose to your rival. We know how big the rivalry is here, UCLA, USC, across all sports, not just basketball. So we know the importance of the rivalry and just being in the same city, being right down the street from them. So it is special losing to them opposed to a different team, but at the end of the day, a loss is a loss, and you don't ever want to lose to a team once, let alone 3 times in one season.
You guys are so much different now than last year. Do those games even have any kind of carryover, or do you just say that was last year, we're not even thinking about that?
I mean, so much happened last year that we've just tried to move forward past everything that happened last year and just focusing on the now and what we have in front of us. And like you said, we are a much different team, but so are they. They have a lot of different pieces. Had a couple guys leave to the NBA, a couple transfers. So it's 2 very different teams from a year ago. 2 very good basketball teams, teams that have played really well this year. So we know we have a challenge ahead of us, and it'll be a good game.
Bryce, when you talk about the now is defense, and you're now up against a team that loves to get up the court like that you guys do. What's the key to playing better defense?
It's just a mindset for us, I think. I think we've been so successful on offense so far this year that we've really put so much focus on that when we're on the court that sometimes we forget about how important the other end is. And it's just something that, like I said, it's a mindset, and we got to come together as a team and just be more selfless on that end. I think we're an extremely unselfish group of guys, especially on the offensive end, but sometimes on the defensive end we're more focused on stopping our guy instead of stopping the other team. And at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and you got to be able to stop the other team from scoring and not just your guys. So just working on things and figuring out defensive schemes that we just have to kind.
In your brief time in New Mexico State, your dad was explaining twice, but not in the same leagues. You know about all rivalries. How do you describe this rivalry in your heart? How would you describe this?
Well, it's a special one, and it's one that it's on a national scale. Everybody watches it. When everybody hears it's rivalry week in LA, that's a big deal to not only just people in LA or in California that are part of the programs, but people all over the country are going to watch. And so, like I said, it's not just basketball, it's not just football, it's all the sports for these schools. So it's a big game for us, it's a big game for them.
Do you feel that from the student body? Because their shirts and all that, the non-basketball guys on the team,
yeah, I think it's just a hype around the game. Everybody gets excited when it's rivalry week. I know it's huge when football week is around. Everybody gets super pumped. It's the same for basketball. It's same for all the sports. Anytime it's SC's coming to our place or we're going down there, everybody starts to get excited, wishes you luck, and it's just a little bit different atmosphere when it's rivalry week.
Did the tenor of practice change yesterday based on what had happened Saturday?
Well, personally, I thought yesterday was the best defensive effort we've given all year in practice. We had an extremely long film session yesterday before, just watching that Arizona tape and showing us how poor our defense was and just how it was all about just our mindset, and that's it. It wasn't our physical abilities. It's not that they overmatched us physically or any way like that. It's just our mindset on the defensive end, and we just gave up way too many easy baskets, and the coaches just instilled in us a different mindset, and we came out, and like I said, I think it was one of our best efforts. So if we can continue to work on that, that's huge.
The last banner that hangs up here, Tyus Edney was part of that. He's talked about mindset. He's talked about similarities of this team, that team. What are you taking out of what Tyus is saying?
Well, I listen to him every day. I kind of pick his brain every single day since I've been here. Anytime you have somebody this close to your program that won a national championship, you got to pick his brain. And like you said, his team has a lot of comparisons to this team. It's almost eerie similar how it's been so far. So he's been a huge part of what we're doing this year, our success, and he's going to continue to kind of be that guide this year for this team and our guys, just of how we can get to where we want to go.
Bryce, I know that Kareem was honored at halftime of the Arizona game. A lot of those old-time UCLA guys were around and have been around, I'm sure, since you've been here. How aware have you been in sort of the wider history of this program in the time that you've been here?
Yeah, I've said before, I wasn't very well. I didn't know a whole lot when I got here about it, but as soon as you get here, you learn pretty quickly, and it's hard to you come out here and you practice, you take a look up, you see 11 of them. So you learn very quickly about the tradition and the players that played here and what you're representing on your chest. So we don't take it for granted ever in a day, and like I said, you learn it pretty quick.
Chris, how was the team's reaction to the Arizona loss different than its reaction to Oregon?
I think just, it was our first home loss. We'd played so well at home all year, and then, we had a pretty poor effort here, and, you give up 96 points. It's something that's not it's not taken lightly by the coaches. It's not taken lightly by the players, by the fans, anybody. So it's just, it's one of those things. We haven't lost a whole lot this year, and it's one of those things where you're a little bit embarrassed, a little bit upset, and just ready to get back on the court.
What was it like to see SC beat UCLA 3 times?
Just knowing that's a rivalry coming in and just watching that last year, and pretty much they controlled all 3 games for the most part all the way through, is something that definitely, as freshmen coming in, it's a rivalry. You always want to beat your rivals, and it was just something that we were looking forward to, and now we finally get to play them, so it's going to be a fun game. When
you're watching those games, are you getting angry, or is it maybe a little bit more, even though you're not at UCLA yet, did you have like a physical reaction to?
Not so much physical, but obviously I want them to win. That was my future school. I wanted them to be successful, but it wasn't so much being angry, but just more excited just to come in and try and make an impact.
How much did you talk to SC in the recruiting process?
I did not, no.
So kind of give me a little bit more of that, what Ben was asking. When you're watching and knowing coming here, is your mindset, I can help change that? Or what were you thinking watching this?
I think that's definitely part of it. I knew that I had some things I could come in and help the team be successful in certain ways, and definitely with Lonzo and Ike, I knew we had those abilities. So yeah, definitely watching those games, I knew what we could be next year. So now I'm just finally excited just to be in that moment and play them tomorrow.
What did you see physically? They kind of dominated. There were some highlight plays they made with Chimezi. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he would catch lobs, and just there was really nobody who could stop him at certain times. Is that the kind of play that you would look at and say, if I was there, I could have done this or something?
I don't know if it's as much as that, but I am here now. And along with EK and Lonzo, and the guys that were here last year have gotten a lot better. And we all want to win every night. So I think it's just going to be a fun atmosphere and a fun game on Wednesday.
Obviously, the focus this week is defense and increasing stops. How do you take what they're teaching you guys in the film session of being better defensively? Because USC is an up-tempo team as well. How do you translate it into success?
We just have to, like you said, the film work we've been doing and the on-court work is something that is going to help us a lot if we can really put it into play. And the coaches see that, we all see that, and I think we're really starting to get it. A lot of times when coaches are trying to teach us lessons after a win, it's almost like, who cares? Like, we won the game. It is what it is. But, when we really – Saturday we pretty much got handled the whole game, and that really showed basically all of us that what we really need to work on. And I think it really put us all in our place. And I think it was a really good lesson for us.
Some of your guys said, quote, wake-up call. Is that accurate?
I definitely think that's accurate, yeah.
TJ, we saw on Saturday Kareem honored at halftime. There's been a lot of luminaries coming around these games. How aware were you of UCLA's basketball history before you got here, and sort of how has that changed in the time that you've been here?
I'm not sure if it's changed since I've been here, because I was very aware of it before I came. I've been in a basketball family my whole life. Been around it, so I knew all the greats that have came here and all the guys that are still in the NBA doing great things. So it's just huge just knowing that all the greats that came before you and paved the way.
Both Coach and Bryce talked about the film session yesterday really getting you guys to realize how much you need to help on defense. What was that film session like, and how was it different from previous ones this year?
I think, like I said, it's coming after a loss. When the coaches are telling you things after a win, like I said, it's almost just like, yeah, you're right, but we still won, so what's the big deal? Where now it's like, all right, we kind of got embarrassed in front of our home crowd, sold-out crowd, in front of LA, in front of America. So that wasn't good for us, just seeing that, and it really put us in our place, and I think it'll be a benefit for us.
In terms of the defensive mistakes you guys made, were they worse than you've done in previous games, or Arizona was just a good enough opponent to take advantage?
Obviously, Arizona is a very talented team, and they really handled us in certain ways like that. But, it's things that we've been seeing all year that are going wrong. It's just when you put a really talented opponent like that, it makes them a little bit more noticeable.